Hey, Guoba here. The 1.2 livestream just revealed the newest 4-star, Luka, and he looks so fun and actually has a solid kit for a 4-star. So I put the stream on my second monitor and instantly got to work on this video for you. So Luka will be a physical Nihility unit, our first of this combo, as well as our very first bleed user. For any Kafka pullers, you will definitely want to build him up, and lucky for you, he will be on her banner. Even without Kafka, I'm definitely going to invest in him. He just looks like such a fun single target powerhouse. So let's go through what the stream revealed and discuss his kit and how it might play out. Then we'll discuss how strong it sounds and what we could build on him, all whilst explaining why he's perfect for Kafka. Remember, his kit is partly revealed and we won't have multipliers or eidolons till he releases for real, so he may be worse than what his kit shows, but for me personally his kit can't be ruined, it's just too cool. So it seems that Luka's kit identity is around punching people and making them bleed. His basic attacks have an enhanced mechanic based around skill and basic attack usage. This could already promote a skill point neutral playstyle. He will gain fighting will from using either his basics or skills or ultimate, and when he gains 2 stacks of said fighting will, his basic attack will be upgraded and detonate any bleed on the enemy. Now this sounds like it should work on any bleed, just like Kafka's detonation should work on any dots, which is pretty insane, seeing as it should count break bleeds. Bleed from breaking an enemy's toughness bar, as we know, is one of the strongest for damage, if not the strongest, so if you time it right and can detonate it, you're looking at some high burst damage for a 4-star, irrespective of any multipliers when his full kit is out. From what we know, his enhanced basics should do 60 toughness damage, just like the current Fire MC and Sing Shui enhanced basics due to the main target. His skill will also be a single target attack, so another 60 toughness damage, seeing as it's a single target skill. On top of damage, this skill will also inflict a bleed effect on the enemy, so now we have our first bleed unit. Seeing as this can stack with his break bleed, just like Shock from Servile can stack with her break shock, we will now have 2 very strong bleed effects, and Kafka and Luka can both detonate them. Luka at least once every 3 turns, and Kafka at least once every turn. His ultimate is yet another single target attack, so a final 90 toughness damage, and he will gain 2 stacks of his fighting will, and then apply vulnerability debuff to the enemy, on top of dealing lots of physical damage. Vulnerability debuffs are scarce and are an extra multiplier to the whole team's damage, yes, including Kafka's damage. So even more enhanced basics and even more damage enhancing. We don't know his energy cost, but let's assume 3 or 4 turns to get it, just like Sampo. So if we are correct about his enhanced basics, we are looking at 240 toughness damage in 3 turns, 60 away from breaking most elites' toughness bar, and 300 if he takes 4 turns. This will allow him to easily proc break bleed, stacking for some very high damage. So Luka looks really good for a 4-star, and of course stuff may change depending on his multipliers, but his kit itself looks fun and it looks strong. Packed in just a 4-star, we have high toughness damage, skill point neutrality, hopefully lots of damage, a vulnerability modifier, a bleed, and a bleed detonation. Versus physical weak enemies, you are going to want to bring him along in your Kafka team every single time. Outside of that though, it might just be best to bring another unit in your Kafka teams, depending on the elements. Servile for lightning, Sampo for wind, for example. Versus physical weak enemies, the expected toughness damage alone is enough to bring him even without Kafka, but Kafka and Luka both detonating break bleed will yield some disgusting damage if you build and play him right. He should still scale with attack like Sampo does, and we don't know his base chances, but what we can do is preemptively farm the physical set. Physical damage percent will boost his damage regardless on what it scales on, and if he scales on attack like the rest of Nihility, then a 25% attack bonus will be immense for his kit. You could also attempt for a full break effect build with the Thief set, and both sets are in the same domain, so whatever ends up happening, you'll end up winning. For planar ornaments, it will be Pangalactic if he has low base chances, we have to wait and see, and Spacing Station if not. With enough speed and the break effect build, we can also opt for the Talia set. For main stats, if he has low base chances, we will adopt an effect hit rate chest, if not an attack one, as well as speed boots, a physical damage percent orb, and a break effect percent rope. We don't know his energy cost, but his ultimate doesn't seem to be in his main focus point, so he may not need an energy rope even if he turns out to have a high cost. An attack percent rope could work on him too, but I just want to abuse his power in breaking enemies' toughness. For subsets, we will most likely want to just stack attack percent, speed, break effect, and build towards whatever effect hit rate needs he has. For light cones, his attacks look like they have a lot of multi-hits from what we saw on the stream. The resolution light cone has a chance to proc on each hit, so even if his base chances end up high, and he doesn't build much effect hit rate, he will still be landing that low base chance defense shred until S5 with ease. Fence Shred will help all of his kit, and all of Kafka's kit do more damage as it's part of every damage calculation. This will grant about a 9% damage increase for the whole team, more if you stack additional def reduction. Either way, people want to pair Sweaty Man with his Sweaty Light Cone. Eyes of the Prey could help any eventual effect hit rate needs and boost those bleeds even more. You can also run him on Fermata provided you're always bringing him with Kafka. People think it's only for shock or wind shear users, but you just have to apply one of the 2 dots and you can abuse it on everyone that wants these stats. He will love that break effect in my opinion, and free damage percent is lovely too, also applying to his skills bleed. It's a nice free to play option, but not good without Kafka or Sampo alongside him. I do also think that the Battle Pass Light Cone could be fun on him for more kit based damage, but it shouldn't be his best, and I would still prioritize other cones in the Battle Pass. So if you run Resolution on the man, you're looking at a Def Shred, a Vulnerability, a Bleed, Break Bleed, good toughness damage to prepare for eventual Kafka break, if you like, and then his own detonations, all of which Kafka will abuse so well. All of these work out excellent for her kit, and having 2 detonators in the team means the enemy will take 2 turns of bleed break damage, then at least 1 detonation from Luka, then at least 2 detonations from Kafka. And this is just for the break bleed, it doesn't include Kafka's own shocks or Luka's skill bleed. I think we're going to see some insane new damage heights when Kafka is played optimally, and it's kind of making me want to pull. Anyway, let me know on how you plan to play Luka, and if you're just pulling for him or for Kafka as well. And let me know what kind of teams you're going to end up making. Thank you so much to my members, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.